Alright, so first off, I'm going to say thank you to everybody who's been watching my Pokkén Tournament DX videos. They've done better than I think any other video has, or videos have on my channel. They've pretty much blown everything else out of the water. And you know, my intention was just to just show some guides for the characters that I knew how to play very well, but because I've been asked multiple times through DMs on Twitter, Discord, and I've received some kind comments from people on YouTube, I'm thinking maybe I'll just do videos for the entire cast. I'll do guides for the characters that I do know how to play, and for the characters I don't know how to play, I'll just do some ranked matches, because a lot of people seem to enjoy those a lot. This video is going to be featuring the other character that I play quite often, which is going to be Braixen. What to say about this one? Braixen was originally in Pokkén Tournament for the Wii U, and I can't tell you if there was any character here that could really, well, Shadow Mewtwo could. Shadow Mewtwo could be a headache for Braixen in those days, but overwhelmingly Braixen had just really good advantages against the majority of the cast. The big thing about Braixen is that she uses supports. She's a support character. So pretty much she can use every support here in the roster effectively, with the exception of these supports here that are primarily on legendaries. So like Yveltal and Crossup, these supports that can only be called once per round, they are like the antithesis of the Braixen playstyle, which is to throw out your supports, often, is to, boost your supports as often as you can. If you're using these supports, you're doing yourself a disservice as a Braixen player. Same thing with Rayquaza. You don't want to use that. Everything else is fair game. I will start from the top. I will pick the support set that I use the most often, which is Ms. Magius and Ninetales. And this is going to be a Braixen guide. Alright, so if you do not know how to play the game in general, there is a previous video that I uploaded. It's tied with my Blastoise guide, and there are chapters in there so that you can find, well, whatever parts you're looking for easily. For this, I will start. Let's see. Braixen is she's an all-around character. Depending on who you ask, some people will say that they consider her a zoner, other people will not. I myself consider her to be a zoner. If I can put out projectiles towards you and keep you from approaching me, and I can do it consistently, I'm like, that's zoning for me. So let's see. I think the first thing I will do is, weak attacks, strong attacks, Pokemon, special Pokemon attacks. What I will do is I'll talk about I think the major skill that you're gonna see Braixen's utilize is going to be her charged A skill. If you hold down the A button, she will flash eventually, and when you do that, she does a move called Sunny Day. Okay, so now she's flashing, I'm letting it go. That's Sunny Day. Okay, this is going to be a big part of her playstyle. It enhances her special attacks, and if you look at her gauge, if you look at the support gauge, it's charging normally. When you watch and see her do her Sunny Day animation, she boosts the support gauge. Okay, and she can continuously boost her support gauge. I think like if the support gauge did not charge on its own, I think she'd have to use Sunny Day like about 8 times in order to boost it. But she boosts support gauges, which allow her to then use her supports far more often than the rest of the cast. Okay, and depending on the support, she could throw out supports 3, maybe 4 times in a round. Okay, that's going to be the major deal about the Braixen playstyle. For everything else, I'll just start from the top. She has her weak attacks. Her standing weak attack is a set of fireballs. I'll talk about the I guess her drawbacks. Okay, well, her good points is that she's very agile. She's a very agile character. She's a very fast character. Her jump covers good distance compared to, for example, Blastoise, whose jump is very vertical. His jump is very vertical, doesn't cover a whole lot of distance. Braixen's jump covers more horizontal distance. And let's see, she can boost supports, and I think that's the major thing, is that she's very fast, very agile for an all-arounder. I think the drawback is, I think the major drawback you'll notice as a Braixen player is that she has very weak projectiles. Like, for example, these projectiles here, these can pretty much be beaten out by, I think, almost anybody in the cast. You know, all of her projectiles, or rather, they can either be just outright snuffed, or they can be canceled out by a lot of characters' projectiles. I know Lucario here, for example, Lucario here's projectiles. Let's see, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay, Lucario's projectiles, I think, can snuff every single one of Braixen's projectiles or cancel them out. So, like, that snuffs, you know. Yep, just totally eats through her projectiles. So she has very, very weak projectile strength. Okay. Which means you're going to be utilizing, I think, as a Braixen player, you're going to be utilizing everything in your kit. Whereas, for example, for Blastoise has some moves that you want to use in certain situations. Braixen, a lot of times, you can use a lot of her moves in many situations. It's not like you don't have to be as selective with her moves as you do with some other characters in the cast. Okay, but for now, this is her standing weak attack is a set of fireballs. It's a set of 3 fireballs. If you can also move side to side and you can strafe them. They do have some homing on them, so if your opponent is moving around, they'll follow, you know, to a certain extent. Let me come here, switch to slot 2, record, move to the right, move to the left, and we'll see if that does what I needed to do. All right, some slight tracking. Okay, slight tracking with those projectiles. We're gonna go back to standing still. Let's see. Her forward weak attack is a boomerang attack. This eliminates projectiles. Okay, this eliminates. What doesn't it eliminate? It doesn't eliminate beams. Basically, if it's a projectile, this is probably gonna get rid of it. It may erase. I think it erases some grounded projectiles, like for example, Blastoise's water mines. This boomerang will get rid of them. It can get rid of Lucario's aura spheres, for example, like what I showed that they snuff out. It will get rid of that. We're going to go back to command input relay. It will get rid of those projectiles. It's a very good tool. It will get rid of projectiles, go through the projectile, and hit your target. Okay. Let's see. Oh, and it causes a phase switch as well. Okay. Yeah, it will do that. You can maybe, well, it depends. Depending on where your opponent is, it will stagger. As I'm talking, I'm kind of wondering if I'm gonna fire up the Wii U version and show just how ridiculous some of Braixen's skills were. I'll do that as I go along. But that's her forwards weak attack. Her backwards weak attack is this. It's a golf swing. It's a golf swing. There's a hitbox on the stick, and it also fires out a projectile. So if they're far away, you can hit them with this. You can spam them with this. I'll even talk about this now in the Wii U version. Okay. I'll say that in Pokkén Tournament DX, Braixen was given a few extra moves and abilities to offset the fact that a lot of her stuff was, or not a lot, but to offset the fact that some of her skills were nerfed in the carryover from the original game to DX. Okay, the golf swing is one of them. It used to be when your opponent blocked, this move would cause chip, and it would cause an insane, like, you could just do this over and over and over, and it was chipping. Okay, it would chip. They patched that out. I don't remember when they did it, but I think they patched that out during the original game. But it was good stuff. It was good stuff. She can charge this. Okay. Oh, that's right. The other drawback, I guess, of Braixen is that she has no skills that pierce counters. Okay, she has some skill. She has a skill that she can charge, but it does not pierce. Okay, so the regular one has its own set distance. The charged variant has its own set distance. It goes a little bit farther. Both of them cause phase switches if you do it at point blank. Okay, that does that, and the charged one does that. The charged one, the charged one is easier to get rid of grabs with. So if they're trying to grab you, you can crush that. Okay. Let's see. I believe that's it for her weak attacks. Yeah. Let's see. Her jumps. She has an air dash. Okay. So you jump. You want to jump. You press the R button. You can go in any of the 8 directions. You can go backwards. You can go forward. You can go to the side. I think you can go to the side. Nope. I'm wrong. You can't go to the side. Not diagonally, but you can go left and right. Okay. You can also use attacks out of it. I'll talk about that later. Her jumping weak attack is another set of fireballs. Okay. Her weak attack game is basically throwing out fireballs. You straight fireballs. You can go strafing fireballs. Or you can go aerial fireballs. That's right. The other nerf that they did to her in the original game. She Notice how long it takes for her to jump after throwing out these fireballs. Okay, she was much faster in the Wii U version, and I'll even go out of my way to show just how fast, just how fast she could recover in the original game. But these are jumping fireballs. These work a lot. They help. Okay. You can air dash and spit out some fireballs. Okay, so you can air dash and spit out some fireballs just to cover your landing a little bit. You can also move to the side and throw out these fireballs. You can air dash to the side and throw out these fireballs. I think you can air dash and no, that's for burst. Okay, that's for later. But those are her aerial weak attacks. Okay, and I think that's everything for weak attacks. For strong attacks, as per usual, your standing strong attack is going to be her pursuit attack. It's a 3-hit attack. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's a 3-hit attack. This is what it looks like on Shield, the regular version. 1, 2, 3, and this is what it looks like when you fully charge it for a shield break. 1, 2. That is a shield break. Okay, there's a lot of opportunities for you to break shields. I think Braixen's a very adept shield breaker in the game. Because her moves cause a lot of chip. I'll go into that later. That's strong attacks. She has a backwards strong attack. Okay, so if you're holding the back button and you press X, she does this what's it called? She steps back and she hits the opponent. Okay, it causes a knockdown. So if your opponent tried to attack you, she's going to immediately jump back and do that. So for example, well, I'll talk about that when I actually get into Duel. This has its uses. Let me see what character. I can do it on Yveltal. Okay. So for example, this is Braixen, this is Yveltal. Supports do not matter here. Going to go back to the dojo. Let's see if I am correct. You won't be able to evade every attack in every situation, but for example, there are some attacks that you can evade. Let's see, do 1, 2, and 3. All right. There are some attacks that you will be able to evade with this move. Like so. Otherwise, she would get hit. Well, otherwise, ordinarily, she would get hit by that. Or she would have to block it. Depending on the character and depending on the ability, she'll be able to use this move, get out, get a knockdown, and continue the fight. And since they got a knockdown, she can set up on them and do go on and so on and so forth. I think that is it for her. That's it for her grounded strong attacks. For her aerial strong attacks, she has a drop kick. or what you would call a drop kick in fighting games. Okay, it causes a phase switch. Okay, that's a drop kick. You can also charge it. When you charge it, it puts up a pillar of fire, a pillar of flame. So if they were perhaps coming at you from the air, I believe the little pillar of flame might hit them. So like that. Okay. So this is what it looks like regular, and this is what it looks like charged. I believe if you, well, I'll talk about that when we get into Duel. Okay, but those are her strong attacks. She can also do it out of an air dash. Okay, she can also delay it too. So she can jump, air dash, wait a second, and then throw it down, or she can cross up and do that. Very helpful. Like I said, she's a very fast, very agile character. I think that's it for her strong attacks. Is that right? Yep, that's it. For her special attacks, she has a, let's see, her standing special is Psybeam. Okay, it's a fast projectile. It is probably going to get canceled out by, I think it does get canceled out by a lot. It either gets canceled or outright destroyed by a lot of projectiles. But it travels fast and it travels over a long distance. Okay. It has a charged version where if you hold down the button, it will arc. Well, it'll start above her and it'll fire downward at an angle. This is helpful for if your opponent is in the air. So if your opponent tries to, for example, come at you from the air, it will aim toward the air, depending on where they are. Okay, like so. Let's see, her forward weak attack. Oh, you can also strafe with this. So you can run to the side, press the special attack button, and she'll do like a little tack roll, like tactical roll or barrel roll, whatever you want to call it. And she'll do a little side sweep. The roll evades lows. Okay, so depending on the projectile that's being fired out, she'll be able to evade it by doing that roll. Okay, she can also charge. She can also roll and do the charged version. The charged version does not cause a phase. The charged version of this attack does not cause a phase switch, but the standing version, the uncharged version, does cause a phase switch. Okay. She can also do this out of fireball, so she can fireball and then go into Psybeam, or she can strafe and go into Psybeam. She can also strafe in one direction and then Psybeam in the other direction. Okay, this is also the same for charged versions. Okay, so she can alternate between charged and uncharged variants of Psybeam. It's pretty versatile. Okay, let's see, her forwards. Yeah, let's do it forwards. Her forward special attack is Fire Spin. Okay, Fire Spin, I would probably say it's pretty useful in general. It's very useful in general. In fact, as a Braixen player myself, this is pretty much how I became the Braixen player that I became, was by utilizing Fire Spin to the extent that I currently do. I would think I was doing it when very few people were utilizing Fire Spin. Let's see. Fire Spin has a set distance. It travels forward a little bit. Okay, it has a blind spot, so you cannot use this point blank, otherwise you're going to get hit. You cannot bring this any closer. Okay, you cannot bring it any closer. You cannot start it any farther. Okay, but what you can do is you can angle it to the side. You can angle it to the right, or you can angle it to the left, depending on where your opponent is. So if your opponent is like running over, your opponent's trying to strafe you, you can throw out. Let's see. Oh, one second. Move to the right, move to the left. All right. So if your opponent is strafing you, you can throw out that Fire Spin, as opposed to throwing it out straight and possibly missing them. Okay. Let's see. It has a charged version. The charged version is a much bigger. Oh, I should show what it looks like when it hits. It does that. It does that when it hits. Okay. You can do this out of the fireball. So you can do fireball into fire spin. You can do fireball into fire spin like so. You know, you can do all of her specials out of her fireballs, okay? But fire spin has a normal version where it's like that. It has a charged version where you get a much larger fire spin. Okay, I think they stick out for about the same time. But the larger one, just more damage, okay? Let's see. I'll talk about the sunny day effects later. But that's fire spin. You can also aim the charged version to the right. You can aim it to the left, so on and so forth. This is good for stopping jumpers. Okay, jumpers will have to rethink their approach when this move comes out. You can also use this to. Oh, it also blocks projectiles. It blocks most projectiles. It'll block most projectiles. It won't stop beams, of course. I don't think there's about anything that'll stop beams, but it will block a great deal of projectiles in this game. I think that's fire spin. Her back special attack is fire blast. Okay, for this move, she jumps off the ground a little bit. She hops off the ground a little bit, which means that she becomes susceptible to. There's a support that triggers based upon whether or not your opponent jumps. Okay, because this move puts her in the air, she'll get hit by that skill. But this also means that in the event that you were fighting an opponent that was in synergy burst and they had a grab based synergy burst, using fire blast would actually evade that synergy burst because she's in the air and she's not grounded. Okay. The way Fire Blast works is you throw it out, and the initial blast is a ball. It moves slowly. It needs some time to open up to do the the little trademark symbol for fire, I guess, in Japanese. Okay. If you just do it straight and they get hit with the ball, I think it just causes a knockdown. Okay. If it opens up, it does more damage and it knocks them back and knocks them down. Okay. You cannot aim this in a different direction. It's just, this is it. Okay, it puts her in the air. The first part of it is a slow moving ball, and then it opens up and causes a lot of damage. It is good for stopping opponents that are trying to jump at you like head on. Okay, many of them won't be able to clear that little top part of Fire Blast. Okay, let's see. I think that's it. Is that it? Her jumping special attack is flame charge. Okay, all right, that's what it does. It's a charge attack. If anybody has seen my Blastoise videos, where I play against Chandelure players, and as Blastoise you have to kind of block and then move your way in a little bit as you go, and then once you're in, then you can get crazy. For Braixen, you can probably block, and then flame charge and get in there and make her hurt. Okay. I believe that is. I believe that's it. That's everything for her. That's everything for her specials. Now back to the major deal with Braixen is her Sunny Day. Okay, Sunny Day enhances all of her abilities. It has 2 tiers. Okay, so if you do it once, you'll get the Sunny Day. You see how she's sparkling? This means that her move is enhanced. Okay, so that means that standard Psybeam, okay, is going to look like this. All right, it's a single shot. Enhanced Psybeam, you must get a Sunny Day up first. She must sparkle like this. Enhanced Psybeam is a 2-shot. Okay, the 2-shot enhanced Psybeam is basically you let the first shot get canceled out, and that frees up the second shot. Okay, and the second shot is basically doesn't have to worry about running into any other projectiles because the first shot got rid of them. You can also strafe with it and fire off the 2-shot. You can also get the charged version of it. The charged version once again does not cause a phase switch, but it does it will fire off 2 different projectiles. So if they were on the ground when the first shot came out, but they were in the air when the second shot came out, the first shot would aim toward the ground and the second shot would aim toward the air. Okay. The other deal is fire spin. Oh yeah. Fire spin, regular fire spin, you put it down, it has a set size. The charged one, of course, you put it down, the charged one has its own set size. When you use this on an opponent, it just does damage to the opponent. Okay. When the fire spin is enhanced, it will launch the opponent. Okay. When it's enhanced, it will launch the opponent. Same thing for the charged version. The charged version will launch the opponent. Using this will allow you to, oh, I just did another sunny day charge. I'll talk about that in a second. Doing this will allow you to do your combos. Okay. Okay. So launching them basically sets you up to combo them however you like. Very freestyle, very allows for a freeform freestyle kind of play style if you'd like. Fire blast. What this does is, let's see, I believe that regular fire blast will dissipate. The initial fireball will dissipate once it hits an opponent. The enhanced version, the fireball continues to blossom into the major attack, so it'll keep going. The enhanced version will keep going. It does more damage. Of course, all of the enhanced version for specials do more damage if they're enhanced. But the enhanced version of fire spin, whereas the regular one dissipates after it hits the enemy, the enhanced version follows through regardless if it hits the enemy or not. And it also opens up and it travels much faster. Okay, so that's that. Then I believe the enhanced version, it opens up and it travels much faster. Okay, that is enhanced fire blast. The last deal is flame charge. Okay, her regular flame charge, you oh yeah, let's see, to explain this, regular flame charge, you hit your opponent, knock them into the air, resets them on the ground. Enhanced flame charge launches them, sets them up for a juggle or whatever it is that you like. Okay, I should note that if you use flame charge on block, okay, if you use flame charge on block, that leaves you extremely open, whereas if you use enhanced flame charge on block, much safer. It's a much safer move because once you hit the opponent, little fireworks go off, and the little fireworks are their own hitboxes. Okay, so there is a chance that they could shield the flame charge, and they could shield the enhanced flame charge, and if they were to let go of their shield to try and attack you, they would end up getting knocked around by the fireworks that follow after it. Okay, now for Sunny Day itself, Sunny Day has 2 tiers, and this leads into another part of the breaks and play style. Is that all you're doing here is I'm just holding the shield because it's easier. You just hold the shield. For example, you can hold the shield, press down on the special attack button until she flashes, and what you would do is you would press it, and she does that little, spread-legged animation, but you can do it twice. Okay, so this is the first version of it, and this would be the second version of it. You have to do it while she's already enhanced. The third version gives her an attack buff, which is I think it's a 4-second attack buff. Okay, and naturally the attack buff increases your overall damage. Let's see, what are the applications for this? Oh, that's right, it also it basically gives you like a quarter synergy gauge. Okay, essentially, yeah, it gives you a quarter synergy gauge. If you were watching the Miss Maggie's support gauge in the corner, this is all a part of the breaks and play style where you build your supports up. You can use Sunny Day out of, I think, just about anything if you're holding the button down enough for her to flash. So you can throw these down while holding down onto the A button, and as long as she's flashing, you let it go and she does that. Oh, give me 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. Let's see, where was I? I believe I was talking about Sunny Day. Right. If you do it once, you get the initial Sunny Day that enhances all of your abilities. I think I went through that. If you do it twice, you get the attack buff. That's all it does. It doesn't like even further enhance your abilities. It's just that gives you the attack buff. Let's see. You can do it twice in a row. Okay, by holding down the button, by releasing the button, and then holding down the button again during the animation for the first time. Okay, so I'm gonna let go and then press it again. So you have to just press it a second time while she's in the middle of the animation for the first Sunny Day, and then she'll do it that way. So if you did it fast enough, you could do it rapidly. Okay, another deal is that if you press the jump button after a fire blast, she will immediately go into a Sunny Day, which means that you can stack a charge for Sunny Day while doing Fire Blast. Okay, so you can stack it and then immediately get a second one up. Okay, that's all a part of the play style. I think that's everything for field phase. As usual, she has her dashes. Her dashes cover a lot of horizontal distance. Her back dash is very, very fast. You can really mash this and she goes everywhere. Just her movement is just very, very good. As per usual, she can do her air dash and everything. And then next we'll go into duel. Let's see, duel phase. Her stances. Her low stance is a duck, so she will be able to duck some high projectiles. Her high stance, charge. I want you to pay attention to her support gauge on the left, okay? And then I'm going to go into high stance, and high stance is it's increasing the gauge, It speeds up her gauge. Now I have a full support gauge. That's what high stance does. Every character's high, well, not every character's, but the high stances and low stances do different things. For example, Yveltal's high stance restores his shield faster. Okay, so if Yveltal took shield damage and then there's a lull in the battle, Yveltal can go into high stance and restore his shield quicker. Okay, so that it won't break so easily. Let's see. This is her forward movement, her backward movement. Her backdash is very good. I think it's better than Blastoise's. I think it's so fast. It's extremely fast. Her backdash. Her forward dash is also very good. This is her counterattack. I neglected to show counterattacks. Okay, this is her counterattack. All right, this is her counterattack. This is her charged counterattack. So you hold the button down, you get a crumple. Okay. When, let's see, weak attacks. Her weak attack is this. She throws out her stick. You can mash it as much as you like. That's what you get. It's a 3-hit attack. Okay. If you mash it all the way, you'll go into side beam. If you hold the button, I think if you hold the button, whoop. If you hold the button down on the 4th hit, you'll go into the aerial side beam. It's technically called side beam setup, okay, because it sets up for other stuff. But that's the standard weak attack. Her forward weak attack once again is the boomerang. You can snuff out projectiles. You can catch somebody jumping, like if they're jumping from a far away distance and you throw that out, you can throw it out, juggle them towards you, and you can juggle off of this. But that's her boomerang. Her back weak attack is the golf swing again. It launches much easier in duel. Okay, so you can do this and then go into her standard combo. Okay, yeah, the charged variant also does its deal. Keep in mind that the golf swing is the golf swing hitbox is just what's physical near her, but she is also firing out a projectile that will, knock opponents out of the air. The charged one, I feel like the charged one, they may go the same. They may go the same, you know, length of time, but one just travels fast. One just travels farther. But that's her back weak attack. Her low stance weak attack is a low kick. All right, that's it. It's a low kick. It's a fast attack. You can chain it into specials. It's rare that you're gonna be able to chain this into anything outside of Psybeam. Honestly, like you're not gonna be seeing people chain this into fire spin. Okay, because for one, when you do that, you leave yourself open. Okay, you may see people chain it into well, that's flamethrower. I'll talk about that in a second. But this is it. If you mash it, it goes into Psybeam, and so naturally, if you mash it and then hold, you get the aerial version of it. But primarily, it's just a quick attack that you can use to, you know, stop somebody from doing something crazy. You know, if they're trying to grab you and you're fast enough, it's a very fast attack. You can hit them out of it. You know. Let's see. Her aerial attacks, or her aerial weak attack, is the fireball. Once again, I think I will fire up the Wii U version and show, you know, the difference. You can delay these fireballs. What I tend to do often is I like to delay the fireball, and I like to delay that last fireball until just before I hit the ground, so that it can fire out a single fireball if I do it correctly. Okay, I like to do that. I fire out one ground level fireball in the event that somebody was trying to pursue me on the ground as I was in the air. You can also fly and throw it out. Okay, or you can fly and then do the full amount of fireballs. But that's what her aerial weak attacks do. Yeah, high stance. Her high stance weak attack is it's an anti-air. Okay, it's an anti-air. It avoids highs. It doesn't look like it, but it does. Okay, it's pretty good. Let's see. So, for example, let's see. We'll go here, and 1, 2, 1. All right, let's just do that, and then command input relay. If you manage to knock somebody with it and they're in the air, you can combo off of it. Do whatever you like. I think that's it for her. That's it for her weak attacks. For her strong attacks are she's only got a couple. Is that right? No, she's got more than a couple. Her standing one is the one you'll probably use maybe the least. Okay, it's a 2-hitter. Okay, this is what it looks like. The first hit knocks him up. The second hit knocks him down into the ground. Okay, this allows you to, provided that you hit with both hits, this allows you to use your supports. Oh, I'll go into the supports later. But this allows you to cancel into your supports. This allows you to set up with your other stuff if you like. You know, that's mainly what it's for. It's a knockdown. It lets you set up on your opponent. Okay. In the event that you missed with the first hit, but you landed the second hit, you would get a bounce. Okay, and that bounce allows you to juggle your opponent. You can't do anything crazy with it. Yeah, you can't do 5 wide of it. So it's really just, you can use low stance into pretty much the bread and butter of breaks and finishers, which is low stance into. That was flamethrower that I used. I'll go over flamethrower in a second. Her back strong attack is that quick back step into a knockdown. Once again, you knock them down, you get ready to set up, or you throw up your supports, you do whatever it is that you like. You can do this. No, I'm sorry. You can no, not that. Yeah, you can do that and then back away and get some space and then throw down fire spin if you like, just to keep them from immediately jumping on you as soon as they wake up. Make them rethink. Maybe they want to go jump, and then if they jump, then you can use her high stance weak attack, juggle them up into the air, and get crazy. Okay, and I'm sure that as I do this stuff, I'm sure you all will be able to formulate different possibilities in your heads as well. Let's see. She has no forward strong attack. Or if you try to do forward strong attack, it's just going to be her usual standing strong attack. Her low strong attack is a slide. Okay, it's a slide. she may be able to avoid some stuff. She may be able to squeeze out from tight spots with this. Like if her opponent has her on the wall and, you know, they jumped, you know, like they jumped and they tried to, you know, hit her from above, she might be able to use this move and slide out from beneath them. It's also good for like immediate, like if you would somebody immediately hit you with a phase switch, you might be able to throw this out and immediately, you know, knock them down and then gain the advantage again, and you can do whatever it is that you like to do, you know, just however you like. Her high stance strong attack, oh gosh, this is probably be the last thing I'll explain, but for the basic knowledge of it is that it's an attack that puts her in the air. This crushes grabs. A lot of high stance strong attacks crush grabs. But this puts her in the air, and she can chain this into flame charge if you press the button again. Okay, it's an 8x. This is also pretty much a major setup. This is a major setup skill for wall strings. I won't go into wall strings. Well, I'll go into some that are very easy to memorize. I'll go into that, but this is what it does. Okay, you can do two things. You can either do this and, well, three things. You can do this and then nothing else. You can do this and go into flame charge. Okay, this also means that if you had the enhanced flame charge, you could go into this and knock them into the, well, that's a bad demonstration, but you can do this, go into the enhanced flame charge, okay, and that sets them up into the air and lets you juggle them. Or you can do her high stance strong attack and fly away, okay, or you can do her high stance strong attack and fly toward your opponent, which I think also sets up for other ridiculous combos. I think Braixen can do many different combos depending on what supports she's using. Gosh, it's gonna be a headache trying to I'm not gonna demonstrate all of them, but it's just so many possibilities that you can do. It really is like what you're going to get out of Braixen is really dependent on how much you're willing to put into figuring out you know, different possibilities with it. Just how much you're willing to, as you know, it's said, to go into the lab being training mode or practice mode or whatever, and you know, just trying stuff out. I believe that's it. Well, her jumping strong attack is the same thing. It's a drop kick. You can also charge it. When you charge it, it launches your opponent. When you do it straight up on the ground, this staggers them long enough for you to be able to do a combo. Okay, if you charge it, it launches them and allows you to go for, you know, combos like that. Let's see, I think that's everything. Next is her grabs. Well, I'll do her grabs later, but next is her special attacks. Okay, special attacks are, everything is the same except for two moves, I believe. So she has her side beam, she has her charged side beam, she has her fire spin, she has her charged fire spin, she has, ignore that, she has her fire blast. Okay, she has the charged fire blast. Well, no, there's no charged fire blast. Okay, her low stance special attack is light screen. This is about the only command counter that she has. Okay, it's extremely close. Okay, it's extremely close. If your opponent attacked into it and you threw it out, it's a crush. It's a crush, and you would be able to combo off of it. So that's what it looks like. Okay. Okay, and you will be able to go into whatever launcher you like and do whatever you like from there. If they did not attack into it, that's what it is. It bounces them away, and it also works if they were airborne and you hit them with it, so it would knock them away. This is what you use to get space. Okay, if they got you on the wall and you think that there's a gap, you can throw that out, and immediately you want to immediately close that gap so that you're no longer on the wall. Okay, but that's what that does. Primarily, this gets rid of all manner of projectiles. Everything that's not a beam or has piercing properties, like for example, like Blastoise's Dark Pulse. It gets rid of any manner of projectiles. I think Yveltal's projectile is oh, no, 1 second. I don't play Yveltal, anymore. So yeah, there you go. That's all right. That's Yveltal's projectile, and I think, let's see, we're going to input relay. Nope, not that. It gets rid of projectiles. Ordinarily, she'd get hit by that, okay? But light screen will get rid of that. Let's see. What else we got? Her high stance. Her high stance special attack is flamethrower. Okay. I'll go into the lights. I'll go into the enhanced stuff later. But her high stance is flamethrower. It does not work if you're not like on top of your opponent. If you're like any kind of light distance away and they're grounded, like if they low stance it, it's not gonna hit. Okay. Let's see if I eat my words. But yeah, if they low stance, this is never gonna hit. Ever. Okay. Does it hit if they're on the wall? No, it doesn't even work if they're on the wall. Okay. If they low stance it, fire flamethrower is not going to hit. Okay. I think this skill kind of works best. It's an anti-air, but it also works best when on the wall, because when on the wall they can't escape. Okay, they can't escape and they're not being pushed back by it, so they're getting hit. They're getting hit by more hits. Okay. That's what that does. The area special attack is flame charge. You can do flame charge high to the ground. You can do flame charge immediately after leaving the ground, like as a short hop. I think that's it. And she also has her usual sunny day. There's the single charge, and if you want to go again, there's the secondary charge. Note the attack buff on the right next to her HP bar. Is that everything? I believe that is everything. The enhanced version. I've gone through the enhanced version of her field phase specials. That also applies here. Now the dual phase only specials. When you do light screen, the regular one looks like this. There's a single light screen that comes out. Oh, that's right, light screen. You can press light screen and then press the jump button, and then immediately go into a sunny day. This is probably the most common form of sunny day stacking that you're gonna see in dual phase from a Braixen, because it's very fast. Okay, it's very fast. You don't have to do a fire blast and then go into it. Okay, you don't have to hold the shield, get the charge, and then do it. You can just do sunny day and then go immediately into the charge. Okay, so that's probably going to be the most common form of sunny day stacking you're going to see off of a Braixen. So if you see her light screening, that's probably your cue to close the gap. Okay, like if she's light screening from all the way over here, that's your cue to close the gap. Now the regular version of this is just a single light screen. The enhanced version of it is 3 light screens, and it covers a little bit more distance. Okay, so whereas like I think like here, whereas you wouldn't be able to hit somebody with a regular light screen, you would be able to hit them with the enhanced version of said light screen. Okay, flamethrower is, I think the only difference with that is of course more damage, but it covers a larger distance. Okay, so note the distance of flamethrower, the regular version, and then the enhanced version covers more distance. Okay, it's a longer pillar of fire. Okay, that's what that does, and of course it does more damage as well. All right, a lot of damage, big damage dealing deals. Thing with Braixen is that her skills do a lot of chip. Okay, so let's see, we'll block. Let's see. Yep. Yeah, her stuff does a lot of chip. I'm not gonna go into that because as you play, you'll see. What's the next deal? Cancels. Yeah. Braixen can cancel a lot of her skills into her supports. Okay, so I don't think it works for every skill, but yeah, okay, yeah. So she can. There's so many moves that she can cancel into. I think she can cancel her standing weak attacks. She can cancel her standing weak attacks into her supports. She can do this after the first one or the second hit. or the third hit, so on. She can cancel her low stance weak attacks into it. She can cancel her standing strong attacks into her supports. Let me see. Yeah, she can cancel her backward strong attack into her supports. Let's see. Yep. Oh, you know what? I think, yeah, she she can also cancel her low stance strong attack into her supports. What else? I couldn't tell you if she can cancel her specials into it, but I know for sure that she can cancel like a lot of her physical attacks into her supports. What else we got? The last thing I think I would have to explain is the 8x cancels, which gosh, I don't even do those very often. The 8x cancel. Normally when you do an 8x, it's gonna look like this, and she's gonna land, and you either have the option to fly away or fly into your opponent or connect with a flame charge. There's a small window of a few frames where it's the only something that Braixen can do. Okay, and this is not it's not normal knowledge. Okay, this is stuff that we figured out. But you can cancel her 8x by pressing the special attack button, if I'm correct. Yeah, by pressing the special attack button, like just before she hits the ground. Yeah, that. Okay. I don't know if I can chain it multiple times, consistently, but you'll be able to chain it. Okay, so whereas normally you would do this, whereas normally it would look something like that, I guess if you chain it, and let's see if I'm gonna be doing some cut editing. Maybe. What? Yep, it's been a while. She would be able to chain those 8x's. That's because usually when I do it in a practical match, I usually just go straight from 8x into I think what, XX. Ugh, can I do it 4 times in a row? I mean, I used to. Like, what can you cancel this into? Gosh, you can cancel this into, I think, any. You can cancel into any fast attack that is, like, right on top of them. So you could cancel this into, I've canceled it into 5XX. You can cancel it into, well, not that, but you can cancel it into another 8x loop. It's basically called an 8x loop. Ugh. I think what, I've canceled it into 2x, so you can cancel it into 2x. You can cancel it into I think the most amount of times you can do it is like 4 times before the game forces a phase switch, because the maximum combo count that you can get in a duel phase is 21 hits. I used to spend like hours like just practicing different combinations of this, until I think I just boiled it down to like practicality. In a practical match, you're not going to be landing 4 8x's, because to begin with, in order to even start the loop, you have to be able to hit them with a raw 8x. Okay, most of the time when you hit somebody with an 8x as Braixen, you're probably doing it on their shield, and you're gonna fly away, or if you had a sunny day up, you would hit them with a flame charge. Okay. So like the amount of opportunities that you would even have to do, said 8x loops are very slim. And then furthermore, because of the nature of online gaming, with input delay and such, basically your timing has to be perfect. You can take comfort in the fact that if you are said Braixen, or if you are fighting a Braixen that's able to get off at 8x loops, that you can just take comfort in the fact that your connection is good. A lot of the times, like, I'll land it and then I'll get the cancel, but I'll forget, I won't press it fast enough to continue. You want to do it so that she flashes white, So like I'm flashing white, but I'm not pressing the 8X button fast enough to you know, follow up. And then sometimes I just press it too fast and she immediately goes into flame charge. Alright, there we go. It's a pain in the butt to do because I don't do it often, but yeah, you can what? You can cancel it into 2X and then go into your support if you want. That's the other thing. Just ridiculous stuff that she can do. What else? The other thing I neglected to do was to demonstrate burst mode. Okay, I failed to include this with Blastoise, but it was okay because I was doing ranked matches. Her burst, her Sanity burst. Now she doesn't have a special form like Pokemon with Mega Evolutions, but what she does have is that it permanently keeps her in enhanced mode, so that all of her attacks are their enhanced variants. Okay, let's see. Fire Blast, yeah, Light Screen. Let's do what is it? Always permanent Sanity burst. Yeah, her synergy, or rather her burst attack, is this. All right, this is called Firecracker. There we go. Yeah, if she used her support already, it instantly fills her support gauge. Yeah, like that huge chunk that she just got from it. So yep, so you could theoretically, you know, just use a support, then use the burst after the gauge has been emptied, and then immediately get the support gauge back up. I think that's it. That's everything. She doesn't have anything else that's inherently special to her after once she's in this mode. Like nothing changes. It's all enhanced stuff that you've seen before. Of course, if you do light screen while she's in Synergy Burst, she just constantly gets up the attack buff. I think that's it. Cause what else? No, I'm still missing some skills. Yeah, I'm missing the most important get in move that she's got now. It's cause they added that. Yeah, she has another move. If you in dual phase, if you jump and press the weak attack button, you get fireballs. Okay, but if you jump and hold the up button and press the weak attack button, notice her animation. When she does this, she's spinning her stick around to fire off the fireballs. If you do what's it called? Basically a jumping high stance weak attack. Okay. If you do that, she just does the stick spinning animation. And if she hits a person with it, it's like a free combo. Okay. So this is what you can, you can do this, fly in on an opponent, and as long as she hits the opponent with that hitbox, they're going to be staggered long enough for her to be able to combo off of them. I believe they gave her this because they nerfed her fireballs, because she used to be able to just hop around like a jumping bean and spit out fireballs, but they nerfed her landing. It was like they nerfed her landing. They increased the amount of landing lag that she had, so she was no longer able to just jump around like crazy and spit out fireballs. Like she has to now wait. So in response, they gave her because I think that used to be a way for her to get in, was to throw fireballs at somebody and then get in close. Okay, but when they nerfed that, she was very, very hindered, very handicapped. So they gave her this move to allow her to go in. What we got? Kirby 25th anniversary. 50% on select games. That's probably like August 8, 2018 or something. E3 2017. 50% on select digital games. Was the Switch out? The Switch was announced. Like the Switch would have been the Switch would have been out on E3 2017. Super Mario, Zelda, Metroid, and more. Yeah. Okay. I don't even know if the eShop still works. I haven't checked it, but we're not here for that. We're here for ye old Pokkén Tournament. Just base Pokkén Tournament. Yeah, I forgot about that. I kind of missed the little entry, the ignition, little splash screens. The original Pokkén Tournament came with a card that would let you play with Shadow Mewtwo, and oh yeah, the colors look different. They're not as saturated as they are in the Switch version. So you know, DX 2016. Yeah, it came with a card that it was like an amiibo card, and you would scan it on your gamepad, and it would allow you to oh, I must have muted her. You could scan the amiibo card, and it would let you play with Shadow Mewtwo if you did not unlock, like if you hadn't beaten the story mode yet, it would let you play with Shadow Mewtwo. What we got here? So if you see here, these are all the characters that were available in Pokkén Tournament not DX, in Pokkén Tournament. So there's no Decidueye. I think when this game came out, I don't think, was Gen 7 out yet? I think Gen 7 was out. Or no, I think this was released before Gen 7 came out. So we didn't know what a Decidueye was at the time. And then I think during this time, Scizor, Darkrai, Croagunk, and who was the other one? Darkrai, Croagunk, Scizor, and Empoleon. They were out, but they were out in they were arcade only. Okay, and then Aegislash and Blastoise were just an afterthought. And these were all the characters that were there. But what I'm going to do here that serves my purpose is I'm going to go to the ye old practice mode. I'm holding the Wii U Pro Controller, and honestly, I think the Wii U Pro Controller feels better than the Switch Pro Controller. It's just more ergonomic. The Switch Pro Controller is good for if you have large hands. Why isn't Nia speaking? It's fine. So we're gonna go Saint. No, not you. Oh my God, my Wii U is freaking out. Okay, and then yeah, these were all the supports. Oh my God, Yveltal, old Yveltal. Ugh. So yeah, no Rayquaza and Mimikyu, no Litten and Popplio, because we didn't know who those were yet. And then yeah, the only old stage that was added to the game was the beach stage. So I'm gonna go back to the dojo like I normally do. What I came here to show you was the JY. Okay. Yeah, she can't do that thing where she's able to hit them and then do her combo because it wasn't created. This though. She was so much faster. So you can understand, okay, that when you deal with Braixen, and like when we're all beginners in 2017, or was it 2017, 2016? I think it was 2016. But when we're all beginners in 2016, and this is what you have to fight. Okay, people were some crybabies. There were some crybabies because Braixen, this is what she would do, and this is before people, would really like walk and block. Like people weren't trying to have any of that walk and block going on. So Braixen's, we would just do this, and you could space it out and just hit them low, and it was nuts. It was fantastic. It was a golden age of Braixen. Now let me see. Do they is the chip damage still in on the golf swing? They might have taken. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So they took that out. Like that was early. That was early on that they took that out. But she used to be able to put people on the wall, and like they would be sitting here on the wall, and she could just hit them with this, and as long as they would block, and it wouldn't break the shield, but it would chip them. So she could just keep hitting them with a golf swing until they eventually moved out of the way or countered. Like because you can what's called a counter. What is it called? Counter attack dash cancel, or CADC. You counter, and then you press the block button to cancel that out. Okay, and you hold any kind of direction, but you just press the block button, and that's the dash cancel because you're doing a dash out of the counter attack. And it's like unless they did that, or they evaded the projectile, this was it. And they would take damage from this. They would take chip damage from this. And it was, life was good. So not as much stuff has changed as much as I think. I just know that they gave her the that jump in move where you're able to hit people with the stick after flying in, because they increased the cooldown. It's like because they increased so much cooldown on her jumping weak attack. Oh, really? Was that is that correct? They put a projectile on that? So you can do it. You can do it here. There's a big one there. Was there a? I forget. Honestly, I forget if they added the projectile on the back of her backswing in Duel. You know what? I think they added that. Yeah, I think they added that in DX. I think they added the projectile at the back of her regular golf swing. I think they added that in DX. Because previously, the projectile only came out if you charged it. Maybe. I might be out of my mind and I just forget stuff easily like an old man. But this was the big thing with Braixen, is that you could do this. Another thing which I neglected to show in man, that intro video is gonna be long. Another thing that I neglected to show was that she can do two. Oh wow, I forgot it vibrates. The controller vibrates. Oh my god, Yveltal, I gotta show that too. Is that when you go into burst, she can do double air dashes. So she could do that. So what was it? She could air dash away, fire projectiles. She could go forward or backward and forward. She could go forward. I mean, she could still do this in DX. Okay, that's just a perk of what you call it. That's just a perk of her synergy burst. I think one thing they did do is they did make it so that you couldn't cross up and hit people. Like if you crossed people up with flame charge, like if you landed behind them and did flame charge, you would not travel through the air like this length that I just traveled with flame charge. You could travel that length if you jumped behind someone and say they kept moving to the left and you were like all the way over here and you jumped over them and then you did flame charge. The flame charge will still travel that same length. Okay, but I think what they did in DX was they cut it so that she doesn't travel as far if you jump. So it's like if they kept moving over to the left and you jumped over them and you landed here, when you flame charge you may end up like here. Okay, and you wouldn't fly into them. The other thing, they nerfed some supports, not a whole lot, but the big thing that they nerfed was they nerfed Yveltal. Let's see, is this how do you do this? Oh yeah. So the way Yveltal used to work in the original game was, I think every other legendary Pokemon was a once per round kind of support. Yveltal was not. You could call Yveltal multiple times in a round. The thing is that I think everybody else in the cast couldn't charge Yveltal fast enough to use him more than once in a round. Braixen could do it twice. Like Braixen could easily get it off twice. What's the support button? Like I forgot all of the Yveltal combos I used to do. But like something like that, right? And then she could charge Yveltal again. Like you can't do this in DX. I think there was a player in like Evo 2016 or 2017 called Tono-sama, and they did this. You know, it was like they gave away the sauce. They gave away the Yveltal sauce. And then when DX came out, like she's charging this thing. She's charging Yveltal, and it's like I'm just kind of laughing to myself because I'm like, you can't do this anymore. They took this out. It was awful. It was awful. People hated Braixen. People would disconnect on sight. People would disconnect on sight if they saw you playing Braixen. They would trash talk Braixen in those days. It was funny. It was funny as a Braixen player. I remember in Wii U, a lot of people blocked me because all I did was play Braixen in this game. I didn't really play any other characters. I tried Yveltal for a time. Oh, that's right. And I also played Gardevoir because prior to discovering that Braixen was in this game, and prior to discovering what kind of character Braixen was in this game, like seeing how fast she was, I went into Pokkén expecting to play Gardevoir because I was going to play Gardevoir as my you know, my major character. But this is, you know, Braixen was nuts. Wii U Braixen was nuts. I think that's it. That's it. That's all I got. That's all I got. There's plenty of combos and such that you can do for Braixen, depending on the support. That all depends on you as a player. You know what it is you wanna do, what it is you like. Me personally, despite all of Braixen's great combo potential, I use 2 supports that she cannot combo off of. You know, just because they help me with my play style. You know. I'll explain all of that later, but for now, that's it. That's the Braixen, I guess, guide. For, you know, just for basic knowledge. If you wanted to know how to play Braixen, and you didn't know how to play Braixen, and you want to know what all the little attacks do, hopefully this guide helps you with that. As for all the little, you know, teeny tiny nuances, and, you know, this wall combo, that wall combo, you're not gonna see that in this video. I may explain that later in combat. But for now, this is the Braixen video. I'll put up some ranked videos for Braixen later, and you know, I'll see where we go from there. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you all in future videos. So you have a nice day.